In the sleepy village of Umidam, where most boys grew up learning how to farm or fix motorcycles, Chinidu was different. From a young age, he had a strange hunger. Not for food, but for something more. He'd sit under the mango tree with torn pages of magazines, pointing at photos of skyscrapers and foreign offices. One day, I'll be the CEO of my own company, he would say to anyone who'd listen. But instead of admiration, he got laughter. His classmates mocked him. Even his father, a hard-working bricklayer, shook his head one evening and said, "Your dreams won't feed you, Chinidu. Better learn a trade." But Chinidu refused to stop dreaming. He believed that life had more to offer than what his eyes could see. Even when he had no shoes to wear to school, he whispered to himself, "My condition is not my conclusion." After finishing secondary school with excellent grades, Chinidu's dreams hit a wall. No money for university. His mother cried, his father kept quiet, and Chinidu tried not to break down. But he didn't stay idle. He got a job at a printing press in the nearby town. Not as a designer, but as a cleaner. Every morning, he mopped floors, emptied bins, and scrubbed toilets. By afternoon, he watched the graphic designers at work, sneaking glances at their computers. At night, using a friend's borrowed phone and free Wi-Fi at a nearby kiosk, he began to teach himself design and branding. It was tough. He didn't understand the tools at first. He made ugly flyers. He got laughed at in design groups. And once, he accidentally deleted an entire client folder and was scolded harshly. He nearly gave up, but didn't. Instead, he told himself, "If I can clean other people's dreams in the morning, I can build mine at night." And so he did. By the time Chinidu turned 23, he had saved every kobo he could. No fancy clothes, no parties, just focus. With 67,000 Nigerian nairas, he bought a fairly used laptop and a plastic chair. He convinced a shop owner to let him use a small space beside his store for free, as long as he didn't block customers. He hung a banner with the name he'd dreamed of for years. Spark Designs, bring your brand to life. No fanfare, no attention, just dreams and determination. The first month, nobody came. The second month, one man came for a 2,000 Nigerian nairas flyer, but complained about the design. Some days, Chinidu didn't eat. He used his data to stay online, offering free designs to strangers just to build a name. People laughed behind his back. A former classmate walked past and said, "So this is the great company you talked about? A chair and laptop?" Chinidu smiled, but inside, he was breaking. That night, he sat on the floor and cried. But on his wall, the words he wrote months ago stared back at him. "Winners are not those who never fail. Winners are those who never quit." He wiped his tears, powered his laptop, and started again. One hot afternoon, when Chinidu was almost out of hope and money, a man walked up to his little setup. He wore worn-out slippers and held a stained paper menu. "You do branding, right?" he asked. Chinidu nodded. "Design something better than this. My restaurant is dying." That man owned a small buka in Surulere that was almost closing down due to poor branding and zero online presence. Chinidu poured his entire heart into that project. He designed a clean, modern logo, recreated their menu from scratch, opened a Facebook and Instagram page with mouth-watering mock-up posts. He even took free pictures of the food using his neighbor's phone. 2 weeks after the relaunch, the man returned, this time smiling. "Oh boy, customers day rush me now. Dem say nah the fine design and pictures. How much to do for my friend's business too." That job changed everything. From that one restaurant, referrals began to come in. Chinidu's inbox slowly filled. Calls started coming, and for the first time, he felt the wind blowing in his direction. He looked up to the sky and whispered, "God, thank you. I almost gave up." In less than a year, Chinidu's work spoke louder than his words ever could. His designs were clean, fresh, and modern. Small businesses across Lagos started reaching out. Some couldn't afford much, but Chinidu never turned them away. He believed, "If I help them grow, they'll never forget me." By his second year, Spark Designs had grown from a corner table to a shared office space in Yaba. By the third year, Chinidu rented his own 2-room office and hired 5 young interns, all from low-income backgrounds like him. He didn't just teach them design, he taught them hope. One of those interns was the son of the same man who once mocked him on the street. Another was a girl who had dropped out of university due to lack of fees. He paid for her exams and trained her personally. His first laptop now sat framed on his new office wall, scratched and worn out. Under it, a plaque read, "Humble Beginnings, Unstoppable Dreams." Even clients from abroad, UK, Canada, Ghana, began reaching out. Chinidu had not just built a brand, he had built a story, and people wanted to be part of it. It was a bright Saturday afternoon when Chinidu stood on stage at TEDx Lagos. He wore a crisp white native with light embroidery, and the crowd clapped before he even said a word. Many of them already knew the legend of the boy from Umidim who built Spark Designs. He stood behind the podium, looked across the hall, and said, "I know what it means to fail, to start with nothing, to be hungry, tired, ignored. I almost gave up many times, but let me tell you something I learned." He paused and looked at the crowd. A tree doesn't fall on the first strike. It falls on the last one. But most people drop the axe too soon. Keep swinging, even if no one is watching, even if it feels like nothing is changing. Keep swinging. The hall went silent. Your breakthrough might be the next strike. One more job, one more day, one more effort. Don't stop just before your story changes. When he finished, the applause was thunderous. Not because of how well he spoke, but because everyone could feel the truth in his words. That day, #TheLastSwing trended across social media. Years passed, but Chinidu's fire never dimmed. Spark Designs had become more than a company. It was a beacon of hope across Nigeria and beyond. The boy once laughed at for dreaming too big was now training others to dream even bigger. Instead of just chasing profit, Chinidu shifted his focus to legacy. He founded Spark Academy, a free digital skill program for underprivileged youth across Africa. From graphic design to brand strategy, marketing, and storytelling, he taught what no one had taught him. The first year, 300 students graduated. By the third year, over 1,000 young men and women had been trained. Many started their own businesses, got remote jobs, and even traveled abroad, all because one man refused to give up. One quiet December morning, Chinidu returned to Umidim, the same village where he was once mocked and misunderstood. He stood on the dusty land where his childhood home once stood and looked around. The same mango tree still stood, older but strong, just like him. There, he built the Spark Tech Hub, a modern 2-story glass building equipped with free Wi-Fi, computers, solar power, and training rooms. The same place where dreams were once seen as foolish was now where young minds came to ignite their futures. At the entrance of the building, written in bold letters on a wall, "This is where dreamers are born, and where excuses come to die." Villagers gathered and wept. His father, now old and gray, looked at his son and said with trembling lips, "I was wrong. Your dreams didn't just cook food. They cooked a feast for generations." Chinidu became a global speaker, mentor, and investor in young African talent. But he never let success change his soul. He often told his team, "When you make it, don't forget the version of you who almost quit." He visited schools and rural communities, telling his story, sharing laptops, offering scholarships. Every time he spoke, he ended with the same words, "The tree never falls on the first swing. It falls on the last. Keep swinging." And with that, the boy from nothing became the man who gave everything so others could find their spark too. You may not have much right now. You may be laughed at, ignored, rejected. But your breakthrough may be just one more step, one more swing away. So don't stop. Swing again. Keep pushing until you get there.